Hi there, I'm Janet and welcome to my jewelry studio. So the most commonly asked question I get is how do I keep my sterling silver clean, or what can I do to prevent my sterling silver from tarnishing? So in this video I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do some simple home cleaning of your jewelry. So a little bit of the science as to why sterling silver does tarnish. So sterling silver is a mix of fine silver and copper. So when it's stamped 925, what that means is it's 92.5% fine silver, and then that remaining 7.5% is copper. So that copper is the culprit that makes sterling tarnish. What happens is it mixes with usually hydrogen sulfur and other things in the air, moisture, could be hand lotion, and it's just a whole bunch of other things, hairspray, that type of stuff will make the sterling silver tarnish. So most of the work that I produce here in my jewelry studio is made with an anti-tarnish sterling silver. So what that is instead of 7.5% copper in the alloy I purchase, it actually has a little less copper and something else in it, so that just prevents the tarnish from happening as quickly. It still does tarnish, but it definitely slows the whole process down. So there's a couple of ways that you can clean your silver once it's tarnished. If you don't want to go out and purchase anything to help with that, the best thing you can do is actually take an old toothbrush and some baking soda, and then just dip your toothbrush in some water, dip it in the baking soda, and then start scrubbing. You just have to maybe do a little bit more elbow grease than you would if you went out and purchased a cleaner from a store, but this actually works quite well with most things. It's always nice to get a nice buff right back onto your silver with a jewelry cloth. Those are pretty inexpensive, and the great thing about those is even when they start looking a little ratty, they actually still do work. The next option for cleaning silver is a liquid dip cleaner. Now the pros and cons of this, I mean, it's super quick, which is great. It has a little basket in it. You put your jewelry in, you dip it, maybe wait about 5-10 seconds, take it out with the basket or your fingers, and then rinse it under water. And again, I always like to finish the polishing with a little bit of a jewelry cloth just to get a little bit of a buff and luster back on. Now, what I find about this stuff, even when they try to mask the smell of it, it tends to still be a little stinky. And if you do have jewelry with soft stones like pearls, lapis, or amber, it will take the finish off of them. So if you do go the route of a dip jewelry cleaner and you have a lot of jewelry with stones, just make sure you read the manufacturer's labels, because they do make specific ones for semi-precious stones or soft stones like pearls. So that's the one you want to use. So one of my favorite cleaners is the Haggerty Silver Foam Cleaner. It takes a little bit more time, but what I like about it, it's not toxic. It's actually used for cleaning your silverware, so it almost acts like a soap, and it releases the tarnish quite nicely. Again, you just take a toothbrush, dip it in the cleaner. It might dry out if you've had it for a while, add a little bit of water, and then start scrubbing. The good thing about it is, unlike the liquid cleaner, which has kind of a shelf life, it'll actually start adding tarnish to your silver after a while. The Haggerty Silver Foam Cleaner seems to be, I mean, I haven't found that it's had a shelf life. It actually works until it's all gone. You might just have it dry out a little bit, and then you can just add some water to it. So just make sure that you put the lid on. So once your jewelry is nice and clean, the best way to keep it clean is to store it in a Ziploc plastic bag when you're not wearing it. That just keeps moisture and impurities in the air from getting at it and stops the oxidation, so you don't need to clean it as often. The other thing about sterling silver, it loves to be worn. It's a soft enough metal that, especially for bracelets and rings, the more you wear it, you actually keep it polished just by the act of wearing it. Earrings are a little different because they're not in constant contact with your skin, so you might need to polish earrings a little bit more. But use this trick of storing them in a plastic bag when you're not wearing them, and you should be ready to go next time you want to wear them. So I'm doing a little promotion right now. When you next order from my website, just use the code SPRINGCLEANING, and I'm going to send you a toothbrush, a small sample of the Haggerty Silver Foam that should last you for several cleanings, and then also a handy little card to remind you on how to do it, and also a plastic bag to store your jewelry in once it's clean. So remember, that code is SPRINGCLEANING, and I will send you a little clean kit. If you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to do. You can find me at Janet Stein Jewel, and you can also find me on Facebook at Janet Stein Jewelry. And again, my website is janetsteinjewelry.com. So thanks so much.